Now, as you all been hearing me say, I have this book called The Vocabulary of Praise. This book is going to edify you. This book is going to help your devotional life. If you want to grow, it's a book that you should get because you will be able to understand the names of God and how to worship God in the fullness of who He is. You can find this on Amazon. And once again, if you're looking for Christ centered music, search up Lord Badu on Spotify, on Apple Music, on any distribution music platform. God richly bless you once again. Peace. Friends and family, how you all doing? I want to welcome you to a daily dose of faith. This is Lord Badu, and I just wanted to reach out to you and say, God richly bless you for spending 10 minutes of your day with us to hear the word of faith. I pray that this year be a year of favor and a year of blessing for you and your household. Let's take in the word of God for the day. Hey, friends and family, how you all doing? Welcome to a daily dose of faith. This is Lord Badu. And I want to welcome you to Wednesday. You made it halfway throughout the week. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. We all made it through and we're surviving. We're thriving. No, we're not just cruising by, but we're excelling in everything that we do. Today we want to talk about change, faith for transformation. And today I'm gonna go a little bit off script and kind of just rant a little bit. But for some reason, I'm starting to realize that a lot of people don't like change. Sometimes people see change as a bad thing. Sometimes people say that, oh, I'll never change. I'm going to stay the same every day. And it's a sign of, or to them, it's a sign of authenticity, a sign of being true to themselves. But let me tell you something. Change is necessary. Change is inevitable. Change is a part of life. And as a believer, you must be willing and ready to embrace change. You have to go through changes. See, there is this thing called sanctification in the life of the believer. And this is where it's a process of becoming more and more like Jesus Christ. You are being perfected every single day. Well, you're supposed to be being perfected every single day, which means that the way you were when you first came into Christ is not how you'll be at the end. You probably look more like Christ at the end of your life, or if you're a faithful Christian, more than how you were in the beginning. It seems like a lot of people were more on fire in the beginning and then they lose their track at the end. But once again, that's change. But I believe God is calling us to good change. Good change. And there's a lot of lessons that we can learn from change, because the first thing that we can learn is that change is a tool of growth. You must grow. As a child of God, as a believer, you have to grow. And in James chapter 1, verses 2 and to 4, I believe, it says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance or endurance. And let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking in anything." So when you're growing, you're going to go through some changes, you're going to go through some pains, you're going to go through some hard times and some difficulties, but this endurance produces growth and it produces faith. So as you go through these hard times and it produces faith in your life, you are going to grow from one level of faith to another. So listen, in this life, you must go through changes. You must go through changes. You must go through changes, because change is a tool of growth. You know, when somebody is going through change, many times, once again, we look at it as if, okay, something went wrong or something happened. And, you know, I was talking to my wife the other day and I was saying, you know, I'm glad that you and I are not the same from how when we got married. We changed a lot. We changed for the better. We grew. Because if we were still the same from when we were 22 years old, I don't think we would have the family that we have today. So change is very, very important. Change is necessary. Change is crucial in order to get to the place and the destiny that God has for you. So Change must happen in the life of the believer. The only way that one can truly be transformed is when he's changed. Transformation comes through change. See, the things that you do today are not things that you can do forever. There must be changes in your life. And when changes are happening, once again, don't look at it as if it is something that is so negative, something that is so bad. Change might actually be good. You know, for instance, when you're doing a job and you change positions, what does it do? It gives you a zeal. It gives you a passion. It gives you a desire that, okay, I was doing this some time ago, but now I'm entering into a new season of life. I've changed, my circumstance has changed. Therefore, my results also have to change. So change is good. And you need change and you need faith for transformation in this season of life. For 2025, once again, you always hear me say that there's a lot of good things that I believe will happen. God is going to do great things for you. God is going to do great things for your family. But are you willing and ready for change? Because at the level that you're at right now, God could use you, but to use you at the capacity and the level that he wants to, things have to change. Maybe you have to change your morning routine. Maybe you have to change your devotional life, your prayer life, how you handle things. Maybe you have to change that. So in order to make it somewhere, in order to make it to the top, in order to get everything that's meant for you, you cannot remain the same. You have to change. Now I'm thinking about it. I don't know, as I'm just talking now, like there's so many things I even need to change in my life because there's many things that happened within a span of a month from January till now. Certain positions that I've received, certain new jobs that I've gone to do even in my church, serving as a pastor. There's a lot of change that has happened. And I also have to change the way I do certain things in order to be successful in that. We need faith to change, faith to bring transformation. And when there's faith in the change, and when there's faith in the transformation, we're going to see that this transformation is something that was for good and not bad. This transformation is something that was for the betterment of my life and caused me to do better and caused me to do more. Change is good. This is all I'm literally trying to emphasize. Change is necessary. Change is good. And change is something that should happen consistently, actually. You should never remain the same way you were the day before or the year before or the years before. There must be change. And it must be better than what you were doing before. I know they say if something isn't broken, you don't need to fix it. Or don't fix something that's not broken. But then again, you can still improve on something that's good. Believe you can. So brothers and sisters, this is all I wanted to talk to you about today. I told you I was getting off script a little bit, but I don't know. I just felt like I had to talk about this. Talk about change and how it takes faith to change. Because you don't know what tomorrow holds. You don't know what happens on the other side of that change. But you have to take the risk. You have to take the risk. Because if you don't take the risk, you never know how much further you could have gone. For instance, let me end off here. There's this story about how in the book of Joshua, it says Moses is dead. And now it's time for Joshua and the boys and the new team to go into the promised land. And these guys are like, hey, we're kind of scared to go into the promised land. But they sent some spies there, and the spies came back and like, this land is filled with milk and honey. This land is filled with water. This land is filled with every single thing that we need. But there's some giants that live in the land. So they were afraid and they didn't want to move. They were afraid of change. They started crying that they left Egypt, but not knowing that this land was a land that God had promised them. Sometimes God promises us certain things, and we're too scared to move into that. We're afraid of change. Brothers and sisters, you can't be. This is all I have for you today. God richly bless you. Thank you. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Keep believing, keep trusting in God and all that he does. Peace.